All right. Time now is 9:43 a.m. on July 3rd. I slept from 3:30 a.m. to 9 a.m. 9:10 a.m. Yeah, 3:40 to 9:10. So another 5.5 hours. God damn it! I wish I could sleep earlier. So hopefully I do that tonight. I don't know. It's just difficult because I go back home. I eat a cup noodle. I edit videos, and it's already like 2 something a.m. So it's like kind of fucked. But anyways, yeah, at least it was a solid sleep. Like I didn't wake up in the middle or anything. So again, today is day 3 of my being PA on Neither Donkey Nor Horse, and day 4 of the actual shoot. So yeah, not a lot to talk about. Right now, I had a dream where I watched Succession, but every episode is like 13 minutes long, and then Shiv dies. I don't know why. Um, but yeah, again, given that I don't have much to do on set, I should probably start like actually doing something I should be doing, um, looking at places to live, like moving, sending emails to USC, which I still haven't done. I need to figure that out so badly. Writing up questions, interview questions, work on a feature film script or something, and yeah, yeah, do something productive while being stuck on a film set. Because if I weren't, then I will be watching YouTube videos on a laptop in my own apartment, and that's not a very great idea. But yeah, so that's that essentially. Um, yeah, not much else. Really, not much else. I actually re-slept a little bit for like half an hour. Again, I thought I would just re-sleep for 10 minutes, and I didn't even fall asleep. I was awake the whole time, but it half an hour gone by. I don't know. Um, and then yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't know. Still thinking about Leslie. Fuck. Still thinking about her. Just the story isn't over yet. It doesn't feel over. With 2001 A Space Odyssey, it just doesn't feel over. But I don't want to hold out hope as well. I don't want to hold out hope, like, oh, we're gonna go back together. Like, we just can't. After what she's done to me, we just can't go back together the right way. We just can't. It's just impossible. But I feel like there needs to be more closure. There needs to be more closure. Whatever happened was just like not it. I just wish Leslie would be honest with me. Yeah, I should have spent more time with her before I confessed to her. That's true. Oh, yeah, I was gonna say this. I forgot to mention this last night. It was kind of a big piece of info, but I actually told Naja about Leslie because I have to tell someone, I guess. And also, Naja told me that she will be back every Saturday at CMD. So, oh, the conquest also continues for her, but she'll be taking like a post production class, like a DM post class, like a sound class, because she still has one more class to take, I guess. Um, but yeah, I told NJ about my relationship with Leslie and how I confessed to her and everything, which is weird because I and NJ aren't even that close. But it's good to gain like allies in that matter. Also, it doesn't really matter anyways because I know NJ doesn't like spread drama all around, so I think it's fine. So yeah, and NJ was surprised. She's surprised that I'm capable of arguing with someone, and she's even more surprised that I'm capable of confessing my love to someone. Like, it doesn't seem like something that I would ever do. So, yeah, it's kind of crazy and weird. I don't really know what happened, honestly. Yeah. yeah, I don't know. But yeah, hopefully I get to be around set and get to do some shit today, I guess. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
What's up? Bye, guys.
Crafty's in the back.
Yeah, outside. Yeah. How will you like to work? Okay, we have meals left, like the but most of them is.
Alright, time now is 12:02 after midnight. Just took a shower, came back home maybe half an hour ago, but yeah, this is my day 3 on set. This is what happened today. So, Trevor, who is another PA, a skinny white dude with long hair, picked me up. I saw him before at the crew mixer, and he's really quiet and kind of awkward, but he's also really like, he, even as a PA, he works really hard trying to arrange the crafty and make sure the ice box is filled with ice and like taking out trash. Like he's really doing the lowest of the lowest on set. Like it can't get any lower. Like even bringing coffee around is higher than this. But he's really doing it to fullest. I also did some of those things. I also took out trash, but I also did a bunch of BTS. So there's that. But we went to a new place today, and it is in Beverly Hills, a beautiful mansion with a British flag and an American flag for some fucking reason. It looks like the fucking British embassy. And it has a swimming pool and it's 2 stories, and holy fucking shit, I had PTSD. And also, even though it's a mansion and you'd think it has tons of rooms for you to sleep in and whatever, there isn't. And for the most part, there's this tiny little sideway spot. That's where the crafty's at, and that's where people chilled. And it's not as convenient. There's no AC, and it was hot as fuck there for a while. But then it got really cold at night, of course. And then, yeah, again, I wasn't able to get onto set all that much today, like the actual set. And it's really hectic for some reason. Even though today's only 2 scenes, it's also 2 very gigantic scenes. It's 5 pages in the script, so everyone was really stressed out and hectic in the morning. Like Saud, the guy from Qatar, was like, there is no hostility on set as far as I can tell. Aside from yesterday when Tony, the first AD, sort of expressed some dissatisfaction to Josh, the producer, saying, "Oh, that's none of your matter, like telling people to do things, that's my job first AD. Don't interrupt my workflow." That's word for word, that's what he says. Don't interrupt my workflow. But today it seems like they're fine together again. But yeah, it was really hectic. I wanted to pull out my camera and start filming, and Josh was like, maybe not. Like, just be on standby, just look for PA stuff. And honestly, a lot of stuff I need to help out with is already done, because the G&E stuff are only allowed to touch G&E stuff. Art people are only allowed to touch art stuff. So yeah, not really not really all that much to help out with. So for a chunk of time, I just stood or I sat down outside on a chair to make sure people don't walk across a window because that blocks the light and that ruins the lighting of the scene. So I just sat there with my phone. I listened to music, but I had my earpiece here connected to a radio. So I wanted to listen to music. I realized it's been a while since I've listened to music and I crave music so much. So I just put on, like, I didn't listen to any music yesterday. That's like the first time in 2023, I think. So I like put on my earbud, like just one, and just listen to music from one ear. Yeah, I also made a to-do list on my WhatsApp, and I essentially like wrote down like a bunch of stuff that I have to do today, or I plan to do today, like writing some film reviews on Letterboxd, or writing my script, my feature film script, which I didn't have any energy to write at all, but I thought about it. And like, updating my whatever, my calorie count spreadsheet, something like that. And I did most of them. I also received an email from the international student counselor in my college saying, "Oh, we received your reduced course load, we signed it, we're sending it to the immigrant people, so you should be good." So that's handled with fucking A. And then the next thing is yesterday I received an email from the woman who leads the math tutoring center, and she said that even though the college hasn't received, or her department hasn't received any money, any budget to pay more, she's still planning to hire. So the interview sessions will start very soon. And the fact that I got this email means that I may get an in. Fucking A. Again, if IEC doesn't hire me, well, I'm good at math. Hire me. Come on, bro. I bet like all the interviewees are Asian, so that's gonna be fun. Okay, but either way, back to set. So I don't know. I guess I'm like, because of like with Leslie, I just become. I'm in that state again. Like before, I fell in love with Leslie, I guess. Whenever I go to a new function, like a new social event, I would always look out for like interesting people. And again, like back in early round two, I would like in my biology class, I would like try to see if someone's interesting, and then same for my film two class, and I would talk about them. But then they would always just end up disappointing me, or not disappointing, but they're just not that. So on this set, the second AD is this really quiet girl who isn't like quiet, like shy, but who's like reserved. But second ADs shouldn't be reserved, and the thing is, she handles the actors, and a lot of the times I'm not even around her, but she would give me the radio. On the first day, or the second day of the shoot, she was I feel like she's a little mean to me, because I walked away and she's like, "Where were you?" And she just gave me a radio, and I was like an idiot trying to figure out how it works. But on that day, she said bye to me, and then on yesterday, we didn't talk that much, but that's that. And then today, we talked a little bit, just a tiny bit. And there's one point when she, Allegro, and me were sitting on chairs and talking, and they both were speaking Mandarin, but I could hear what they're saying, so I laughed along. And again, it happened multiple times too, like somebody just finding out that I apparently understand Mandarin. And then Allegro asked me if I have WeChat, and I said, yeah, I do, but I try my best not to use it. And the girl got shocked, and she's like, what? Why? And I'm like, I don't know. And Allegro's like, I understand, because you don't want the big brother to be watching you. And I'm like, yeah. And it's funny because John L. said he doesn't use WeChat, but apparently he does have a WeChat account with like a photo of himself from like when he was like 11 years old. But I don't know, maybe I'm just like, again, the Leslie effect, or like just the effect of being lonely. But like, first of all, she's probably the prettiest girl on set. Second of all, like she's quiet. But she sometimes looks at me, and I guess that's like something that things that strangers do to you sometimes is that if they don't know you enough, and they think they want to figure you out a little more, they just look at you more. It's like it's only natural. It's like survival instinct. So she just looks at me from time to time, and I also look at her from time to time, and then sometimes she would stand close to me. But yeah, apparently today's her last day, and I never got the chance to ask for Instagram, so I guess that's out of the window. But the second AD, she somehow found my Instagram out of nowhere. She stalked me and she followed me. And at the end of the day, I went up to her and I was like, "You just followed me on my Instagram, right?" And she's like, "Really?" And I showed it to her and she's like, "Oh yeah." And I'm like, "You're stalking me?" And she's like, "I stalk everyone." So that's kind of funny. But yeah, apparently it's the second AD's last day, Janine. Hope I randomly see her sometime soon. But pretty interesting. She's also physically attractive, so that's that. But again, I think it's just like the effects of loneliness. I'm just so like it's nothing, you know. Like it's not the same with Leslie. So Leslie made an Instagram story today, and it's herself. It's a video of her face, and someone wrote on her face, or maybe she wrote it herself, "Be happy," smiley face. But she's not happy. Of course she's not happy. And she zooms in on her like cheek or something. And it's just fuck. You know, I want to block her. I don't want to look at her Instagram stories anymore. I love her too much. And today I just feel sad thinking about her. I just feel fucking sad. Like today on the way back home, I just can't stop thinking about her. And I just, again, it's just such a fucking shame. Like we were so good together. We were so good together before. Why does it have to end this way? It's so fucking stupid. So, yeah. And I'm 100% sure that she probably kicked me off of the close friends list on Instagram, which makes sense. I mean, we're not that close anymore, but that's just fucking stupid. Like, how could you do that? Like, we were just talking back in March and April so freely to each other, and now we can't? Like, what? Like, something terrible must have happened. You know what? Next time I see Crystal and Leslie's not there, I'm going to speak to Crystal about it. I guess there's no point because I and Leslie will not go on at all forever for the rest of our lives, but at least some sort of closure, some kind of closure will be had. You know, at least some kind of closure will be had. I think Crystal will understand it because Crystal's like her mom, so I think at least that will be that, you know. And I'll be as honest as it gets. I won't get all poetic and dramatic about Leslie's the monster and she stole my heart of fucking whatever. I'll just be honest with it. Your daughter figure was mean to me. And I confronted her about it. Maybe I approached it the wrong way, but she fucking ghosted me. And so I waited until the end of the shoot to speak to her, and it was fine, but it was not the same. And she still ignores me and doesn't treat me as well anymore, and that's it. There's the fucking phone call, and that's the end-all phone call. The end-all, be-all phone call. It's done. So, fucking A. I don't know. But yeah, the food today was not bad. It's like chicken curry. It's chicken. Apparently they only do chicken. That's the one downside to this catering service is they only do chicken. Chicken curry with rice, and that's it. It's not bad. Again, I'm like the slowest eater on set. And again, at that point, the second AD, the girl, she was like nearest to me, but she didn't speak to me at all. But yeah, it's pretty interesting. And then, given that NJ is not on set, it's just not as interesting. I spent a lot of time today just looking at my phone, not doing much. Feeling bored and tired and sleepy. Yeah, at some point, some old guy who plays like one of the characters, who's supposed to be a Chinese man, like an old man, spoke to me asking me, where am I going to upload these BTS photos to? And he spoke to me completely in Mandarin, assuming that I'm fluent in it. So I tried to respond back in Mandarin, and then he keeps on going, and he's like, he talks about how like he had these 70 shoots, but only 17 of them like credited him or something like that. That's what I understand from him, and it's like, bro, I don't speak Mandarin that well. But then at the same time, I wish I would just whip out my Mandarin because I do speak Mandarin. There's another girl, a woman who worked on, John L's shoot, and she was an RPA there, and she's an RPA here as well, and she vaguely remembers me. So at some point, I and Allegra were speaking English, and she joined and she's speaking Mandarin, and I laughed along, and I commented on it. I forgot what is it about. And she's like surprised again. She's like, "Where are you from?" And I said, "I'm Hong Kong." And she's like, "Wait, so do you understand Chinese?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I understand like mostly." So it's like weird, and then I can't like say things back in Mandarin, even though I technically can, but I also don't want to because it's awkward because it's my third language. But yeah, pretty interesting. I don't know. And Sao drove me back home. He was just in a very agitated state, like not angry agitated, but like jumpy, almost like Birkin, almost reminding of Birkin. And he keeps making phone calls with people. Like yesterday when he drove me home, he made 4 phone calls, and then he drove like the wrong turns like twice. And he reminded me of Birkin too because he drives and then on the road he wears seatbelt. Meanwhile, Birkin doesn't wear seatbelts at all, period, which is even worse. But Saud was like, "Oh no, I have to be on set, I'm the producer. You know, producers solve problems," and he's trying to explain to me what producers do. I get it. I know what a producer does, you know? Even though I'm a PA here and I'm the lowest of the low, but I've got some experience too. I've made short films. I've directed short films. I've I've been a location manager. I've been scripty a couple times, albeit not a lot of experience, albeit still a noob, but still, this is probably the lowest I've ever been on a film set. But I don't mind. I'm glad I'm a part of it, you know. And I'm happy all the producers treat me really well. And overall, this set is 100 times chiller than whatever nightmare Ends and Means was. So there's that. And yeah, not much else. I just really want to fall in love with someone else. Am I still in love with Leslie? Perhaps. I feel like, again, I truly let Mary go when I fell in love with Leslie. I think. I mean, to be fair, during rounds 1 and 2, I don't think of Mary all that much anyways. But I will truly let Leslie go when I fall in love with someone else. So, yeah. I just really desperately need to fall in love with someone else. God, come on. And now is a bad time to fall in love, honestly, because now I'm still healing. I'm wounded. I'm a wounded person. A good thing is tomorrow I can sleep all day. Also, I'm thinking maybe not go to the last day of the set, like July 10th, because Jonathan told Tova he's free on Monday, Tuesday, Thursdays. And then I relate that to Dominic, and Dominic said he's free on July 11th. And then, but like at 12 afternoon, he's gonna leave, and then Tova has to leave at 1 p.m. on that day. So really, we must start the interview at like 9 a.m. So the shoot goes from 2 p.m. to 2 a.m. So literally, if I go on July 10th to this shoot and then do the interview on July 11th at 9 a.m., this means I will have less than 4 hours to sleep. So that's not a very great idea, especially for such an important interview with Jonathan. Jonathan is the most important interview we're ever going to have. Like, more important than Carly and Skylar, because Jonathan's in such an interesting position. So yeah, you know, all the more reasons to fight Cuchillo. I love Leslie so much that I would kill a middle-aged Mexican guy. And again, I will repeat this line often. All the more reasons to fight Cuchillo. All the more reasons. Alright, time now is 12:39 afternoon. On July 4th, it's Day of the Americans. And I'm not going to celebrate it because I already celebrated it last year, so there's no point in celebrating it in my life anymore. I slept from 3:40 a.m. till I think around 11, and then I fell back asleep until around 12:30-ish. Not fell back asleep, I was just on my bed. And my roommate, my roommates, Candace and Michael, the Colombian boyfriend, showed up outside, and they were talking to Jacob, the Chinese roommate, and they were like doing some stuff. And it's so fucking funny because they're actually turning on the dishwasher again without knowing that literally all the plates and forks in there are all clean because they literally did the same thing 3 days ago, but no one has taken out any of the dishes. I didn't have any fucking time because I was on a film set, so they're literally washing some clean plates all over again. That's how stupid they are. It's not even frustrating at this point. It's fucking funny. So, anyways, I had a dream where I was living alone in Japan. And I was a roommate of Aobai, and for some reason there was just something really calming about that. Last night I didn't get to do anything. I didn't film the rest of my 2001 A Space Odyssey movie review because I was just so goddamn tired. I watched one episode of Oshinoko. I managed to quickly cook myself dinner, but that's it. So yeah, today I actually have a lot to do. I'll probably stay at home the whole day, aside from going to Ralph's. I'm in desperate need to go to Ralph's just because I ran out of toilet paper, and I have so little left that I won't even survive till tonight. So yes, I will need to go to Ralph's at some point. I'll have to do the laundry, and then I'll have to yeah, just get back on track with things, the reviews, and whatnot. Writing emails to USC, which I still don't know how am I gonna do that because it's one gigantic complicated mess. But yeah, really, and also I want to do exercise. I want to work out again. I don't know why, but everyone on set are really buff, and I realize I need to get buffer too. So I'm gonna do some push-ups if I can. But like my biceps are actually a little sore right now from all the lifting yesterday. So there's that. Yeah, not much else. I don't know why this lingering sadness is still lingering. I think the first 2 days of the breakup is physically painful, but I think what's challenging is the lingering sadness that precedes it or follows it, I guess. Um, yeah, it's gonna take a few months, I guess. Just and it sucks that I'm still going back to CMD. Like if I go to like I don't know USC immediately and start over with a new life, it would have a similar effect with how I left Hong Kong and starting a new life in in America. And I think that transition was way more effective because I'm literally in a whole different country, it's a whole different world with a whole different lore. So it was kind of easy for me to move on from Mary when I arrived in America because Mary's in a whole different continent and also in a whole different universe. Not a single soul in America probably knows about Mary's existence. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, what the fuck? There's nothing, there's no connections. But even if I go to USC, there's still a chance that someone, somewhere, somehow would know Leslie's existence. So I can never really escape from her, and that's kind of fucking scary. And yeah, now I'm 2-0, which fucking sucks. But I guess it's not that bad. It's not that bad. Because ultimately, it's one crush and one I actually confessed to and failed. And so it's actually more like 1-0 because it's one failed confession. So it's not that bad. I don't fucking know. I really need to stop thinking about her. But yeah, that's essentially today. So, um, and then I'm still waiting on Red and Gustavo's responses. Gustavo has seen my Instagram text. I reminded him about the interviews. I told him to look at Discord, and then he didn't. I don't know. But anyways, figuring it out, and hopefully we're gonna get it right. Again, all the more reasons to fight Crucio. All the more fucking reasons. Yeah, I mean, throwback to the time when Film 32 was filming Michael Clayton in a parking lot. That day, Crucio tried to get me to snitch, and I actually did. I told him that Theo, Ava, and Liam were not happy about the night shoots, which is true. No lies were told. But I was very much on his side at that point. Little does he know I'm gonna completely switch sides and betray his fucking ass. So yeah, you know, I wish I could collaborate with Betsy more so that we could overthrow Cuchillo, hurt him, turn him around, stuff like that. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much it for today. Alright, this is what I got back from Ralph's. I got some peach croissant turnovers. I got chicken breasts, insanely expensive, $10. And this is the cheapest I could find. Holy crap, some go even up to $21. Ground beef. Okay, I got, finally, toilet paper. Nature Valley, gonna start bringing some of those. Some Spam, and, I got paprika, actually. Never did that before. And then I got lemon cake. And I got some white onion this time, not yellow. I got myself some ketchup, some white mushrooms, some bananas, and then some carrots. Alright, time now is 12:40 after midnight. I just finished dinner, which is rice, pork chop, kimchi, cabbage, and mushroom fried. Nothing fancy. It's like a 3 out of 10. There's nothing interesting about this meal. I mean, I was really hungry, but it wasn't like a great meal at all. I'll have beef curry tomorrow. Or pork curry. I think it was beef. I don't know, some type of Japanese curry. So that'll be fun. But yeah, that's that for today. Nothing happened today. Like nothing. Like zilch. Like zero. Like nothing. Absolutely nothing. Other than this morning, talking to Michelle a little bit, and then a little phone call I did with her Tableau near the end. And pretty much nothing happened. Gustavo responded to me on Discord finally, for the interview, but he said, "Oh, sorry, it's been a crazy few days." And that's it. I typed hey hey, and I'm still waiting on Red. I feel like Red has seen it but forgot to reply, so I'm gonna text Red again. Maybe Red's caught up with the Anime Expo. So a bunch of people went to the Anime Expo. Miles, the Korean American actor who was in Aoba short film, and also Evelyn, whom I'm just speaking to right now. Actually, I DM'd. Oh, damn. Okay. But yeah, aside from that, nothing else. Yeah, still thinking about Leslie, thinking about her. I realized that even if it does come through, right? Even if I and Leslie do date, do have a relationship, it's never gonna work out, isn't it? The fact that she's a full-time student, has a job, works like 6 hours, 6 days a week, and like 12 hours per day, she would barely have time to do anything with me. So it's just going to be a lot of like nothingness. And then by when she gets home, she'll be too tired to even text. So it's like yeah, nothing is gonna come out of this anyways. No matter what no matter what happens. Like even if during the shoot she's really nice to me, which would still be very fucking great. Like, but even if that's the case, like, we wouldn't reach that point ever. Because I realize this, because I'm thinking back on, my fantasies, what I want to do with Leslie. The things I want to do with her are things like, I don't know, chatting and drinking until 6 a.m., or getting lost in the middle of LA, or just like hanging out, just whatever. But that's like impossible because she's so caught up with film sets and jobs like that. So yeah, it's pretty much impossible to begin with anyways. Also another thought I had today was when I fell in love with Leslie and I decided to move forward, right? I decided that I have to do something about it. I have to confess to her. Around the time I made the decision, I already knew that there's a risk going into it. And I knew that friendship is different from romantic relationship, which means that if I try to go romantic on her and it fails and it completely fucks up our relationship, it shouldn't be that huge of a deal. Like, I kind of see it coming. And I'm not saying, like, oh, I know she'll reject me and I'm being pessimistic. I'm not being pessimistic. I knew, and I already, like, I thought to myself, this would be a good, like, tester. Because I never thought I would fall in love with a Chinese person, like a non-Hong Konger, and a Chinese person, so politically the polar opposite, right? Even though we're both on the same page politically, but like normally it's weird. Again, it's like yeah, I guess it's like a Jewish person marrying a German person in 2023. I mean, it's fine now, but back then it's weird. But it's fine now, but it's a little awkward. And I know that's a very extreme comparison, but it sort of has that vibe to it. Um, but yeah, when I decided to go on this romantic route with Leslie, I had the idea of, oh well, it's kind of like a test. Like if it does fall apart, well, I don't really care, I guess. It's sort of like, how do I say this? It's sort of like I saw it coming is all. Is part of the reason why I decided to go romantic on her is because I never really cared that much anyways. Like cuz I was thinking yesterday and today like if I go back to Hong Kong, and it's a very wild thought, but if I go back to Hong Kong and I meet up with my old friends, I meet up with Natalie, I have dinner with her plus lunch, maybe a little hangout, and she sees that I've changed. My haircut's different, my facial structure is different. I've grown buffer, hopefully, and I talk and I act so much more, like so much less awkward and so much more aggressive, and she likes it. And in some weird whiff of magic, she has some feelings for me, which is fucking insane. Never will never happen. I'll just tell her, hey, let's just stay being friends because I realize that the highest order of relationship I can have with Natalie isn't a romantic relationship. It's being friends. I'm so glad I stayed being friends with her forever because by entering a romantic relationship with someone, you're risking an extremely ugly breakup and you're distorting your own perception of that person. Meanwhile, if you're friends, you can be really close with that person and you can talk about your inner feelings, your personal side, very freely without any care. Like me and Michelle. And we could just hang out anytime and it's totally fine. It's so platonic. And that's the case with me and Natalie. And that is, and we're not like talking every day or whatever. But the beauty of it is that Natalie's super interesting. She's a very layered and complex person. And I'm sure she'll be a very, very interesting person to date. And she's sort of my type. I mean, she made my type. My type of girl exists because of her. Not that I've ever fallen in love with her. It's just that I have a type of girl. And I have this type because of her. So to say that she's my type is literally true because she is the prototype. I guess with the exception that she's not like athletic and physically like buff, unlike Leslie, who I think is maybe even buffer than me. Um, but yeah, Natalie's kind of gothy and emo, very artsy, weird and quirky, brutally honest, doesn't give a fuck about society, hates everything. But it's also nice if you want her to, or at least Natalie I know. Maybe she's not really like that nowadays. I wouldn't know. But I think, again, like I digress. The best thing to do with her is just to be friends with her. And at this stage in life, it's pretty much permanent. Like, yeah, sure, we're not super duper close friends, and she wouldn't like just pour all the information on me, and I wouldn't do that to her anymore. But when we talk, we do talk a little bit. And I think that's like the beauty of it, really. It's just, it's not gonna break. It's unbreakable. At this point in life, how many years has it been? Like, it's been like 3 years since the end of everything, right? It's been like 3 years, and the friends that remain are the friends you'll have for life. Cedric, Nick, Tom, Leia, Pink, Natalie, Zara, and Miriam. Like, because it's basically impossible for us to argue and have a fallout. Because we don't even see each other anymore. So every time I go back to Hong Kong, I can just meet up with them and eat lunch, and everything will be fine and peaceful. And that's like the most beautiful, ultimate thing that I could do. And Natalie's the kind of person who I can just sit in silence and I'm like fine, because it is what it is. Meanwhile, I sit in silence with Leslie, it's like hellfire. It's like, what am I gonna say? What is she gonna say? I'm sure it's hellfire for her too. So again, night and day difference. But then I don't regret not doing the friends route with Leslie. Leslie's someone who's worth the risk. And that's what I was trying to say, and that is, losing Leslie shouldn't even be that huge of a deal, right? It was in my plans all along. If I truly, truly, truly like someone, not romantically love, just like if that person is truly, truly interesting and complex, I'll probably just be friends with them, not do anything romantic with them, unless I really romantically love them. So if that's my thought process. Anyways, I didn't do any exercise today. I just didn't have the time. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll probably stay at home the whole day tomorrow. I went to Ralph's today, so that's that. I also feel a little dizzy. I don't know why. Maybe I'm tired. Maybe I really am dizzy. Maybe I'm sick. I don't know. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Not much else. But yeah, again with Leslie, I just I don't know. I shouldn't even be that mad that she's gone. I just want closure, and also I guess when I started falling in love with her in late March, it was like a light love. It was like, she's interesting, I want to see her, but if I lose her, it's okay. But and around May, I loved her so much that I couldn't afford losing her emotionally, because it's just so much. So yeah. That's that. Alright, so time now is 12:21 afternoon on July 6th. 5th? It's the 5th. So, yeah, I went to bed at 3:40, but I really didn't. I put down my phone at 4 a.m. Unfortunately, I had to sleep earlier. I really need to. And then, I woke up at around 10:30, and then I just stayed on my bed until like 12. Of course, I woke up at around 10:30 because my roommates turned off the fucking aircon. It's always that. So, yeah, yeah, yesterday wasn't very productive. I really didn't do anything yesterday other than watching a couple episodes of Oshinoko and like the first half an hour of John Wick 4. So I'm gonna finish John Wick today. Hopefully I also finish another movie tonight. I'll be staying at home the whole day. So today I'm just going to be doing like stuff that I have to do. I'll film a couple of reviews, more like a round 3 recap video and then a movie review. And then I'll edit Japan vlog, I'll edit college, I'll edit a bunch of stuff. And then I was thinking of cleaning, washing my bed sheets because I have to do it once every 2 months, which is already like crazy dirty. But also the fact that I take showers every time I touch um, my bed. I usually take showers, so it should be clean. But yeah, I wash my bed sheets once at the end of January, and then I washed them once after spring break, or like during spring break, and now it's been like 1.5 months, 2.5 months, so I gotta wash it ASAP. Except my roommates are using the washing machine and drying machine, so I don't know, maybe not a great idea. But yeah, definitely gonna do some exercise today when I have time, and that's pretty much it for today. I don't know, I had some blurry, hazy dreams, but I just don't really remember them that much, I guess. Yeah, I just don't remember them that much. I remember Gustavo going to Hong Kong and sending me a photo on Discord, and it's in the photo. He's in the central district of Hong Kong, and there's a restaurant, and it's called like "Go Back to the Time of the Slaves" or something, which is really weird. I don't know. And then I was in this weird place. I forgot, but something along the lines of that. Nothing important. But yeah, that's pretty much it for today. Not much to expect. Hopefully, Red or Gustavo give me more updates on, the interviews. I'm also gonna text Jaden perhaps to confirm time with him. I probably should do that because they're leaving soon. Actually, fuck. And yeah, we'll see. We'll definitely see. But that's pretty much today. There's not much else to be said. Yeah. I don't know. Still thinking of Leslie. Maybe less. Maybe thinking less about her. I don't know. Every time I think about the ups, I have to think about the downs. She's beautiful, she's special, she's unique. But also the downs is that she's a bitch. It's a good thing I'm away from her because if I stay any longer, it would be nothing but suffering. So yeah, it's a good thing I'm gone, I guess. Yeah, that's pretty much it for today. All right, time now is 12:18 after midnight. I just finished dinner, which is Japanese curry rice. Not bad at all. Very much calorie filled. Liking it, loving it. And I did nothing today. I did not go out at all. I did nothing. Earlier this morning, someone randomly texted me, and it's like the 19th, 20th time someone has done that. A Chinese person texted me saying, "Hey, old friend, let's hang out a little bit." And then, and I'm like, "Who are you?" And that person's like, "Oh, I'm this person's name. Like, how could you forget? Are you busy? Are you at work?" And then it's funny because I know it's a scam, but I want to go along with it, so. Honestly, I quivered a little bit. Maybe it's not a scam because it has happened before, and sometimes it's actually real. Um, but yeah. So I took a screenshot and put it on Instagram, and tons of people liked my Instagram story. And Aaliyah even DM'd me for the first time saying, uh, "Oh, because you have no enemies and all you have are friends." Okay. Oh my God. Oh my God. Someone just DM'd me. The main actor for John L. short film suddenly DM'd me. Oh my God. Okay. Well. And then another thing is Clara from freaking The Well. Long time ago, a whole year ago, saw the Instagram story and DM'd me and said, "Oh, that's a scam." And I'm like, "Yeah, no." And she asked me if I've used We, and I'm like, "Yeah." And she's like, "Okay, that's probably why." And I'm like, "Okay, fuck it." Yeah, and also probably triple link this building. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And then I spoke with Michelle, texted Michelle a little bit. I texted Evelyn a little bit. Maybe it was last night. Yeah, last night I texted Evelyn a little bit. Today I texted Michelle a little bit. Um, and then I was somewhat productive today. Like right off the bat in the morning, I immediately sent 2 emails to USC. One about my orientation and one about my my USC account. And orientation got back like immediately saying that because I'm admitted to spring, my orientation is basically winter orientation, which is absolutely fucking stupid because everyone goes to summer orientation, nobody goes to winter orientation. And besides, I will probably go back to Hong Kong this winter, so I think maybe I'll just do it online. Whatever, fuck it. Second of all, yeah, I immediately sent some emails, and I immediately I filmed the round 3 recap video, which took a while. I had to film and then run out of storage space, clean it up, and then film again and run out of storage space and then clean it up again. And by clean it up, I mean like exporting videos back into the laptop. And then I finished watching John Wick 4 and I filmed more reviews. And then around that time, I suddenly got an email saying, it's from Neither Donkey Nor Horse, a USC thesis short, telling me that, "Hi Enoch, thank you for the last few days helping us, but because we want to limit crew sizes, we don't need your help anymore. So please upload your photos." So it's not like a template email, because they know that I did some BTS photos. So, fuck, I got kicked out of set again. Crucio didn't allow me to pick up day, and neither Donkey Nor Horse didn't allow me back. But I guess I'm not mad. This is different because truly, other than taking out trash and arranging crafty, I'm not really contributing much to the set anyways. It's not like I'm a scripty. If they're kicking out a scripty, then what the fuck, right? They're not. And maybe it's a good thing because now I don't have to worry about waking up super early tomorrow, because tomorrow the call time is around 7:30 a.m. And last night I went to bed at 4 a.m. So let's say tonight I go to bed at 3, I would still have to wake up at like 7 or 6:30 or something. And that's gonna suck ass. And then I have to sleep so little just to take out more trash and arrange more crafty. No way. I guess my only regret is that I didn't ask for everyone's Instagrams beforehand. Yeah, that's like my only regret, I guess. I just didn't use this as an opportunity to connect more. So I wish that had happened. And Leslie made an Instagram story, and it's a photo of an empty pizza box. And it's nobody column, A column. And I don't know who that A is off the top of my head. Maybe Alba, the Mexican girl. But then, again, I try my best not to care about Leslie anymore. I really try my very best not to do that. But yeah, because of this USC thesis short, I won't say kicking me out, but because they don't need my help anymore, suddenly I'm free the whole week next week. Suddenly I'm super free again. So now I don't know what the fuck to do. Tomorrow I will basically have nothing to do all over again, which is kind of sad. Um. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I did some exercises. Took a while. Did some push-ups. Hopefully my chest gets sore. But right after I got the email, actually, I immediately told like everyone, and by that I mean I told Allegro first, and he's like, "Oh, that happened to me once too." And then I told NJ, and NJ's like, "Oh, really? That's weird. Maybe I'll get that email soon too." And NJ, I don't know if she did get that email too or not, but NJ, Saud was texting NJ. Saud, the Qatari guy, who was very jumpy. He texted NJ asking NJ for more PAs, but then like an hour later, he texted NJ and said, "Okay, actually, we don't need more PAs. We have everything covered. Thank you." So this probably means NJ won't go as well, which is a shame, but hey, it's okay. I'm glad at least I and NJ got to meet and she got to tell me about the Secret July sex shoot. Um, so that's pretty interesting. That's happening tomorrow. Um, but I also immediately told Tova, so plans have changed. And Dominic said he's free next Saturday. So now it's a clusterfuck. Because the thing is, we want Jonathan and Dominic to interview at the same time, but none of our availabilities line up. Now that I'm super free, my availabilities can line up anytime I can, basically. But Tova has a math class from Monday to Thursday every week. Jonathan's not free every weekend. Dominic's only free on Tuesday morning and then weekend. So it's all a mess. It's all clashes. So Tova told me, "Hey, how about we just split the interview? We do Jonathan only, and then we pair Dominic up with someone else." And the thing is, Jonathan, I know for sure he will talk and keep talking, but Dominic, if he's doing the interview alone, he may not say anything. So it's best to pair him up with someone else, like maybe someone like Nick. So that's basically the plan. So who knows? I also DM'd Trinity with of no response yet, but hopefully some sort of response happens. Trinity made an Instagram post where she and Ava hung out, so maybe perhaps they're in town and we could interview Jane and Trinity ASAP. And still no response from Red. What the fuck? So I gotta text him again. But yeah, all the more reason to fight Cuchillo. The RAC is growing. It's expanding, and I'm loving it. And that's pretty much it for today. I still haven't looked into new housing yet. It's still a mess because oh, and then Allegro's roommate's bike. Yeah, because it's just complicated. Like, I want to find roommates. I don't want to do this again, where I would walk into an apartment and be with strangers. I want to be at least with someone that I've met beforehand, so that I'm sure I want to live with them and not like this awkward shit. And yeah, I guess I don't know. I really don't know. So there's a chance that I really don't have much to do in the following few weeks. So we'll see. Hopefully, I get to join Tyler's film set. Hopefully, I get to join Yulia's short film. That would be pretty sick. And Ken, the Taiwanese, spoke to me a little bit. I saw Ken earlier this morning made an Instagram story asking for people, like actors, to help him out on Instagram in Chinese because he's in Taiwan right now. And then a little bit later, he asked me if the USC application, the video sample is really 5 minutes long, and I said yes. And then he also told me that he's going to the Holy Mountain screening on July 27th, and I'm like, what the fuck? Is that really happening? Turns out that's happening on the same night as The Exorcist at the Academy Museum, and that's the one Leslie's going, probably, and the one where on the day I confessed to her, she said she's gonna need someone's arm to, like, clutch. So you know what? Fuck Leslie. I'm going to see the Holy Mountain. You know, if I could choose between a Chinese person and a Taiwanese person, a Chinese girl who broke my heart and fucked me over versus a Taiwanese guy who's been friends with me, went to watch Death Grips with me. No brainer, bro. No brainer. And Zara wants to call me now, so I guess I'm gonna talk to Zara real quick. And that's pretty much it for today. Tomorrow I'll have a big fat sleep, so that's great. Alright, time now is 1:32 p.m. on July 6th. Yeah, I slept extremely late last night. I didn't even watch Winnie the Pooh movie. I just had a 1.5 hour long phone call with Zara, being all poetic, telling her all about Leslie, everything. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, last night I really didn't do much, but I still ended up going to bed at around 4:50 a.m. or something. And I slept until like 11-ish, and then I just stayed on my bed for like 2 hours. Because of course at around 11 somebody turned off the aircon. That's why. It's always the reason. But yeah, today I think I'll do nothing. I don't think I'll leave the apartment either. Maybe I'll leave the apartment to buy like an ice cream and I don't know, an ice cream and a fucking alcohol spray. But that's pretty much it. I got not much else to say or do really. My chest is sore, so that's nice. That means my workout did some wonders, but it's only upper chest. I still need to figure out how to work out my lower chest. And yeah, I spoke with a few people, not really a few people DMing me. Glenn, the guy who played the main character in John L. short film, asked me if I'm interested in in his lease because he wants to find a roommate. But I need to find somewhere that is in between USC and Santa Monica. So, and he told me the address of the place, and I'm like, okay, that's not that great of a spot for me. But it's still good. The fact that I've made so many connections that people are offering housing to me, and Allegro's offering a bike to me because his roommate's selling a bike, and then this and then that and this and that. It's just, sheesh, connections are awesome, bro. And then, yeah, not much else. I don't think I'll do anything today. I should do more like smaller things. Of course, being on film sets are important, but when I'm not being on film sets, I still feel like I should do things like reading manga or drawing or stuff like that that really boosters my artistic sensibility, you know. So I don't know, we'll see. I still haven't looked into like places to live at yet, which is bad. I don't want to procrastinate any further, so I need to start looking. And then yeah, and then not much else. I'll continue filming reviews, editing videos, and that's pretty much it for today. I think after the phone call with Zara yesterday, I'm understanding more why Leslie rejected me. Because A, she's a child. B, because she's been alone like all her life since she was like 14. She's not used to being super intimate with someone. So the fact that I showed up out of nowhere, confessed to her, and then like even though we've known each other for a few months already, it's still not that long of time. The fact that I showed up out of nowhere and confessed to her and was all intensely in love with her, and the confession being so emotionally raw, she was probably kind of like shocked, and she doesn't feel safe suddenly being intimate with someone when she hasn't even been close to being intimate with anyone other than like Crystal, her mother figure, I guess, or Zhu, her father figure. So I guess that kind of spooked her a little bit. So if I could redo all of this all over again, I would probably play the long game. That, or maybe I shouldn't even bother because she's got the fucking job. She's lost her humanity, so it's a really bad timing too. She just moved on from a relationship with this Chinese girl, and then she's not really in a great mood for love anyways, so it's just bad timing plus the fact that she's kind of spooked by how intense my love for her was. Um so that was where it all fail, I guess. So I guess next time I fall in love with a girl, I need to know her background more and know if it's a good timing first. See, at least I learned something from this. You know, at least with failure, you learn from your mistakes. Um, but yeah, hey, at least she hugged me after I confessed to her. I saw a meme on Instagram and it's like, ooh, do you know why girls hug people over their shoulders? And then a bunch of comments are like, really? Do they? I couldn't relate. I wouldn't know because they don't even get hugged. I mean, sure, I know a lot of people who are dating, fucking, whatever, but then at the same time, you need to know that it's 2023 and a good portion of the people around the world are still extremely lonely to the point where they haven't even been hugged by a girl. And yet, being hugged by a girl who is like a friend, like platonic, is one thing, but being hugged by a friend, by someone romantically, is another thing. And that I have already gotten. So I'm at least very grateful for that. I loved a girl, and that girl, knowing that I love her, hugged me. And that's already like a huge win. That's already like a huge W for me. So, I mean, yeah, we didn't get to stage one, stage two, stage three, or whatever. Honestly, stage one is like holding hands, but isn't hugging like even more intense than that? Like, I would say I've reached stage one. Like, come on. um, but no, I still haven't held a girl's hand. Wish I could do it with the next one. Fucking, I don't know, fucking A. Um, yeah, everything's so sad and lonely. Not much else. Not much else. I don't have to do PA work on neither donkey nor horse anymore. I don't got nothing to do. Um, yeah, I don't know. All right, time now is 11:52 p.m. I just finished dinner with chicken breast, but chopped up and fried. Added a bunch of paprika on it, and then spaghetti with marinara sauce. And then finally, green beans, and a bunch of them are like moldy. I took out some non-moldy ones, boiled them, and fried them with garlic, and that's pretty much it. Hopefully, I don't get food poisoning, but no worries. I've had so much bad food in the last 1.5 years. I'm gonna survive. So yeah, today is a very boring nothing day. Like yesterday, I had nothing to do, but I was still motivated to do things. I'm still motivated to keep watching movies and reviews and whatever. But today it's nothing because today I suddenly realized that I truly have nothing to do. Um, like honestly, without this USC shoe, there's like nothing else for me to do in this world. I'm back to zero, right? And it's so fucking stupid because I keep hearing people join new sets. I keep hearing, of course we got the A Sense of Dread, in which Naja, Dominic, Tyler, Nick, and Yulia have joined. Leslie has helped out with Ariel's Seasons Club short film, and then this other short film that apparently just got shot today, involving Leslie again, Ariel again, and Naja and Alex the Brazilian and Dominic. And then this other Solidarity short, and of course Ariel's on it as well. Like, there are just so many sets. I just wish I could be on more sets because I feel weak. I feel like that. I know the professors probably don't even care all that much about me because I'm only one out of like a few thousand students. But they would probably see me and think, okay, yeah, this guy's not going to make it because he's not willing to, go on to more sets and gain experience. It's not that I'm not going to fucking make it. It's that nobody's inviting me to these sets. Nobody's fucking inviting me. So, yeah, it's fucking stupid. So, I don't know. Right now, my future is so full of uncertainties. like this summer, I still have a whole July and a whole August to deal with. And honestly, I don't know. I don't know if I could join Tyler's set. I don't know if I can join Julia's set. I don't know. So today there are more updates in terms of interviews. First of all, Thomas called me like 3 times in the middle of when I watched Winnie the Pooh movie, which just sucks. But he called me asking me if I'm still available on July 7th and 15th. And I'm like, yes. Because he's so fucking worried that I may suddenly pull out. Which is funny because, he lost. He's beginning to develop trust issues after he made his first short film. And then the second call, he asked me if I'm available at 11 that day because maybe I'll meet with Retablo on that day because he's actually in California right now, and maybe we'll exchange shirts. I got his All by Chico shirt and the Death Grips hoodie, and he got something for me as well. He got another Death Grips hoodie for me. And then so I was gonna meet him that day. And then a little bit later, Thomas called me again saying that, okay, you know what, never mind. I don't need your help. Because apparently the guy who I'm going to interview on my podcast, Thomas's podcast, doesn't want to be on camera. It's audio only. So we don't even need your help. So great. I have nothing to do tomorrow either. And then I called Retablo not too long ago. I mean, God bless him. He's great. And he really, really tried really hard to find a way to, meet up with me. And that's great and all, but there really isn't time because on Friday and Saturday he's busy, and then on Sunday he's leaving. So we thought about meeting somewhere in between, like in the middle, like maybe in downtown LA, maybe in Glendale. But honestly, now that my fucking TAP card is pointless because I'm not a student in my college anymore in this semester, it's gonna cost and it's gonna take a lot of time for me to get to those places. So I probably can't. And it's okay. And then we have the interviews. Tova called me for a little bit, for about 7 minutes-ish, because we have more updates. So apparently Theo responded to Tova. Tova texted Theo, and Theo said, oh, interesting. And that's it. He didn't say yes, and he didn't say no. And it's kind of fucking scary, because it could be a no, it could be a yes. I think it's a yes, but I don't know. And then still no news from Red, still no news from Gustavo. And then I DM'd Jaden on Instagram asking him about the interviews. And I thought this is easy because he said he's down. When I last talked to him over the phone, over Liam's phone, Jaden said he's down to do the interview. And then suddenly today he responded saying no. I'm sorry, Enoch, wish you the best of luck, but I probably can't do that. And I'm like, oh no, but this interview will not be published at all, and many other people have agreed to it. And he's just like, I'm sorry, but I'll be very busy in the summer going around places with Trinity. And then I said, well, how about after summer? And he's like, I'm sorry, I wish you the best of luck, but I can't do it. All the best I can do is to print out a mini Jaden on a printer and a mini Trinity like on a cardboard and put it in the background of like your interviews. And I'm like, LMAO, well, thank you, okay. And then Trinity also responded saying, I know Liam has texted you, so wish you the best of luck. That's it. Fuck, I just lost 2 people. I can't believe it. They said yes before and now they don't. Also, oh, must be so great to have a girlfriend so that you can have a dreamy, beautiful summer with them. Must be so fucking awesome, right? I feel like I'm losing my mind bit by bit. It's very not good. Like, I know I'm kind of moving on from Leslie, but it's just become more universal now. Like, I'm putting all this fucking blame to Cuchillo. I want Cuchillo to get hurt. And it's even worse when I have nothing better to do, when people don't invite me to sets. And I'm still volunteering for sets. I literally DM'd Tyler. I emailed the freaking neither donkey nor horse so that I can be on set just to PA, just to arrange crafty and take out trash. Hell, I'm gonna find Yulia's phone number and text her about her short film. Hell, yes, I'm volunteering. But even so, people are not inviting me to sets. And I have nothing better to do other than to keep filming reviews and watch movies. I kind of regret not going back to Hong Kong now. But let's think about it. If I go back to Hong Kong, it's gonna be the same. I'll just be hanging out with friends, and either that or I'll be, I don't know, watching movies or going to my mom's rich friend's place and sit and listen to music, and that's it. Like, there's nothing better to do in my whole life right now. There's literally nothing. It's all ruined. After film 33, every fucking thing is ruined. All the people I know, most of the people I know are transferring or are leaving. The people I love, the girl I love, she's fucking gone. And even though she's like, oh, I wish I could be friends with you, we could still say being friends. Well, that's a fucking bold-faced lie because there's no way we could be friends anymore. Everything's a fucking lie. I know I sound really angry right now. I swear to God, I didn't expect myself to be angry. And I'm not angry. I'm just... I don't know. Concerned for my own well-being. For my own mental well-being. Just concerned. Like, I really have nothing ahead of me. Nothing. And truth be told, at least I have gained more than I had last year. Like, right now, at least I have gained Ken, the Taiwanese. It's so fucking great to have another Taiwanese, a film lover friend who is Taiwanese, who is artistically, we can vibe, and politically exactly the same page. Like, exactly the same page. Like, we both hate the CCP so much. So, that's fire. And of course, Michelle, had it not been this semester, I wouldn't have gained so close to her. Tova as well. Yeah. And also today I went to Discord and I finally removed my own title. My Scriptwriting Club Vice President title, it's been removed. And now I'm calling myself Enoch the Detective. And I'm going to keep calling myself the Detective so that, when I go back to CMD and continue with my revenge plot, I will leave little clues around saying, ooh, detective, ooh, and it's gonna be like, people who know will know it's me, But yeah, one of the posts on Discord is Betsy saying, ooh, should our film club have an official letterbox account? And I said, yeah, that would be really cool. And then she responded with an eye emoji, like eyes looking emoji, which is cool. Because, I and Michelle talked a little bit this morning, and Michelle talked about how egotistical and how a lot of the stuff Betsy does is just air, like a dying balloon, in her exact words. Like, it's all talk, no action. Meanwhile, I and Tova are actually doing something really impactful. But even so, I wanted to collab with Betsy. I know Betsy has the power to pull off some shit. I know she hates Cuchillo. If there's one other person in the entire CMD who shares the common enemy with me, it's Betsy. And of course we have like Jonathan and stuff, but Jonathan's not going to do anything. But Betsy will. Because she's on a power trip. So yes, I'll be needing her. And for the next 6 months, I'll be fighting Cuchillo with her. So, yeah. Ariel texted me a little bit. So Ariel randomly texted me a photo while I was having dinner, a photo of our Indian professor, and Alex the Brazilian and Naja were also in it, in the Today's Secret Shoot. And apparently it's written and directed by some random woman that nobody knows about. And then I asked her to send me some BTS videos from rural Mexico, so we'll see. And then, finally, the makeup artist for John L's short film DM'd me, because I made an Instagram story about Oppenheimer on 35mm, and I was like, and he was like, ooh, it's a shame I won't be in town for that, because he's going back to Hong Kong. And then we talked a little bit. He talked about how he's going to Thailand and then London, but hey, so at least I got some connections nowadays. But it's still somewhat depressing. It's still so somewhat depressing. The situation I'm in, I have nothing. It's all over again. I have nothing. I'm going to Ralph's, staying at home, doing nothing for 2 months straight. I have nothing. So, yeah, I don't know. Other than moving, trying to get a driver's license, um, you know, trying to find a job, new phone, like not much. And I don't know. And the problem is back in the day, back when I was like 17, 18, when I have nothing to do, I truly have nothing to do because I'm too scared to do anything too crazy and absurd. I guess the craziest things I really did out of boredom is going downstairs in my apartment and screaming on top of my lungs so that I would lose my voice, but I never did. I never did lose my voice. I did scream. I don't know. I guess other absurd things include me walking, having these solo adventures. I got so bored I started doing that. But you can't adventure around LA when you have barely any sort of space and when it's so unwalkable and when the city itself is so boring. I don't know. But the thing is, nowadays I'm crazy. And by that, I don't mean crazy. By that, I mean I'm so much more brave. Like, I email people, call people, text people left and right. And I'm not afraid to go to some random place and be with a bunch of random strangers. Like, back in the day, if you tell me when I was 15 that someday I will know a Chinese guy and then I will follow him to a short film shoot in which literally everyone else are strangers, I would be like, holy shit, you're not going to do that, right? Even in last semester, if even in round two, when I went to this ISF meetup thing or ICC meetup thing, and the only person I know was Pepper, I was like, oh my god, if Pepper isn't here and I walk into a bunch of strangers, it's like awkward. Turns out both Pepper and Alba were there, and also Miles and Michelle and Betsy showed up. But yeah, I'm so much more courageous now, and I'm so much more ambitious now. So I'm gonna actually lean in and just go full vengeance mode on this motherfucker Cuchillo. And I want Leslie to know too. And again, I've been thinking like Leslie ultimately said no, not because she hates me or anything, but because she got like spooked. Because I suddenly became so emotionally raw with her that she got like scared. And I feel like that may mean that maybe as time passes, maybe she'll get closer to me once again. And maybe, just maybe she'll want to be with me, like friendly, in a friend's way, platonically. Maybe. But honestly, I would just fucking say no. You've ruined it all. That's it, man. That's it. So, there's nothing. Unless I directly go to USC right now and just start a new life there, orientation, meet a bunch of Hong Kongers there, finally find someone interesting, start climbing ladders, start joining sets, get closer connections to Hollywood, get closer to my dreams, suddenly everything would be 100 times more interesting. But now I'm stuck in this limbo, this black hole, where everyone's gone, the girl I love is gone, even people like Cliff are busy editing and be on someone else's set. Everyone's busy filming. I'm losing people for my interviews and I have no purpose in life anymore. It doesn't matter if I go back to Hong Kong or not, actually. If I go back to Hong Kong, at least I got to drink good soup and meet Natalie and Zara. But actually, there's nothing here. So, yeah. Alright, time now is 1:12 p.m. on, of course, my roommate comes back home. On July 7th. In a few hours, it's going to be Natalie's birthday, so shout out to Natalie. Also, apparently a few days ago, on June 29th, is actually Zara's birthday, and I forgot to say happy birthday, so happy birthday. I slept from 4:40 a.m. till like 1, but I woke up like twice. I woke up once at around um 11 something. Just turn on the aircon again. But I turned it to a mode where it's like um where it's basically like automatic. So if it falls under 68 degrees Fahrenheit, okay, I feel so uncomfortable right now. Oh my god, what the fuck's happening outside? Okay, I don't know what's going on with me. My voice is not very crispy unnaturally, and I'm having a bit of stomachache right now. And of course, the moment I start filming, my roommate's gonna be outside. I'm gonna keep talking. So, yeah, and I went out to the aircon twice. And next time I went there just to turn it on fully, not automatic. But yeah, that's it. And then I woke up again at around 1. I didn't have much of a dream. I did dream that I went back to CMD, but it also didn't feel like CMD. It feels like a small little. It's like a mixture between CMD and like my old school. There's a little classroom bunch of area, like a bunch of classrooms in one flat, tiny, hidden building, kind of like a cave. And then that has like a walkway. But then for some reason, I start running into old friends or old people that I used to know, like Nick, and then we ended up chatting a little bit. But I was jumping between English and Cantonese in the dream. Yeah, and I just forgot how nice it would have felt if I went back to Hong Kong. Um, but yeah, that's pretty much it. And then so today I have nothing to do again. Fuck me in the pussy, man. Fuck me. I am now completely like nothing, just emptiness, just nothingness. I have nothing. Um, God damn. Complete nothingness. I don't know. I don't fucking know. I think I'll go to Ralph's again just because I need toothpaste. I want milk. I want ice cream, and I want something to eat for lunch. Um, yeah. I don't know. Um, fuck. Yeah. And then tomorrow I also have nothing to do. Um, which is terrible. So I really don't know. I feel like it also would be a good time for me to like really like focus on oneself. I feel like at times like this, it's really important for me to pull myself together and persevere and survive day by day. And I'm gonna start doing things like drawing, reading manga, um, just writing my next feature film script, just doing things that are like helpful for myself. So I'm gonna do more of that. And then my short film will premiere tonight, so hopefully that's that. And yeah, I don't know, fuck. It's just, I mean, I have people I can hang out with like Thomas and Potter, but also maybe not. And then Cliff's always busy. And fuck, Leslie, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to think about her anymore. Um, Hopefully I can chat with Michelle and maybe hang out with her. That's a thing, right? Um, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's crazy. Out of all these rounds, like I meet so many people. I think I've met at least 150, maybe 200 people. And by meet, I mean I've talked to them and gotten well with them. Probably around 200 and 250. But the only people who remain are like 10. Like throughout my entire life in LA, like number one, Potter and JT Pepper Potter. I'm not friends with JT anymore. I'm not friends with Pepper anymore. Diana's out of the window. She went back to Hong Kong. Potter remains. So Potter is like the only friend I got from round one. And if you count the church folk, yeah, maybe. Jonah, maybe. And so Potter, we got Jonah, and then we got in round two I met Cliff, Leslie. Well, Leslie's out of the fucking window. She can fuck off. Cliff and Justin. And then Michelle. And then Michelle and Thomas. That's like 4 people. And then round 3 I got Ken, Taiwanese, and Tova. So that's 4 plus 2 plus 3, so that is about like 9. I'm probably missing a couple others, but like I have 9 friends now, which is not bad, but like I've met 250 people and only 9 of them really come through, which is fucking hilarious. So that's that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Leslie probably doesn't think much of me. The same way Pepper doesn't probably think about me anymore, which is fine, because I don't think about her a lot anymore as well. Yeah. Moving on. That's the goal. That's my plan. Yeah, I still don't know what to eat for lunch today. No idea. I should do maybe some. I'm eating rice tonight, so maybe not rice. No, I have no idea. God damn it, I have no idea. I got potatoes. I have nothing. Fuck. Alright, this is what I got from Ralph's. I got alcohol spray. I got more milk. I got mac and cheese. I got some broccoli. I got ice cream, actually. I got frigging soup, clam chowder, and a toothpaste. $34. Alright, time now is 2:53 a.m. in the morning. I finished dinner about 3 hours ago, which is rice, ground beef mixed with tomato sauce and carrots and peas in a can, and some kimchi, and that's it. And I've already crossed 2,500 calories, so pretty successful. So yeah, a recap of today. I did nothing again. I was going to go online and start doing research on places to live and, driver's license and stuff, but I just did not have the time. I spent a good chunk of today watching Oshinoko, filming a review, and then turns out it's already really late. It's like 5:30 p.m. So by then I hadn't even had lunch at that point. So I rushed downstairs and got myself Subway sandwich, $13, came back up, munched it. And I originally was going to buy the combo, but then I realized might as well not waste that much money. So my plan is to bring that sandwich to the living room and then eat there, to the dining room. And when I was there, of course, Jacob, the Chinese guy, is there doing workout. So it's a little awkward, but then I don't want to bring it back to my room. Because if I do, then I'll have to change my clothes. And if I do, then I'll have to freaking, wash my face and wash my hair. But then I'll go out to Ralph's again. So I don't want to change. So I just ate food. And I was looking like I was at the end of the table. And on the other side, it's Jacob on the floor doing like push-ups and like sit-ups and all sorts of stuff. And then I was waiting for him to go so that I could finally be alone and be at peace. He leaves her a little bit, goes back to his room, and he comes out shirtless and he does more exercises. And then he finally finishes it, and I finally finish half the sandwich. He goes back to his room and he comes out and he starts fucking cooking. And before he starts cooking, he starts like sharpening his knife, and it's just quang 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 nonstop for like 3 minutes. It's amazing. So by the time I finished the sandwich, he was cooking. So, anyways, I went to Ralph's, came back, and yeah, I had a 3 hour and 40 minute long phone call with Michelle. I cooked and ate and washed the dishes, and then spent another 3 hours in my bedroom talking to her because there's so much to catch up on. And I was gonna talk to her in the beginning while I was cooking, but then for some reason, Candace, the roommate, sat on the couch waiting for nothing. She's like guarding the couch for no reason. And then finally, she realized that I'm cooking, and so she left because she doesn't want to smell my stinky ass, weird ass, goofy ass food. So I was at peace until my other roommate, Jacob, comes out and does his daily protein shake ritual. But yeah, so we talked, and Michelle spent about 1 hour and 40 minutes explaining, detailing every single day of her trip in Europe, which is great. I mean, I would probably do the same too, but I'm just not that interested because right now I'm in a terrible mood. Not terrible, but like not very great. I'm a bit of a downer, if you will. Like I'm bored, I got nothing to do, and I feel stuck, and Leslie's not here, and I hate everything and everyone, and all I have in my mind is vengeance against Kushio. And then Michelle just comes on and talks to me about, oh, the pasta, it was so great, and then this place, it was so good, and it was so much positivity for 1 hour and 40 minutes straight, and it's just like, oh, okay. And then it's my turn to talk, and I spent about half an hour basically going over Leslie, the USC shoots, the interviews with Tova, and mostly it's negative. Like, I just feel like a ball of negativity. But I really went all out. I told her, it is full-fledged vengeance now. I'm taking vengeance against Cuchillo, and I'll be, working with Betsy. And Michelle's like, yeah, you should work with Betsy, just be really careful. And that makes it more interesting. But it's true, I have nothing to lose now, so all I care about is vengeance. So let there be vengeance, I guess. Again, not much else. I originally planned to edit an anime review and then watch a 2 hour long film and blah blah blah. I don't have time to do any of that again. Even though I have nothing to do today, I still managed to run out of time. Surely tomorrow I'll be staying at home the whole day again. So at least there's that. But yeah, not much else. Really, not much else. People are watching my short films now, so that's great. It doesn't have a lot of viewership. When my short film premiered, only one other person watched it, and that's it. And that's kind of underwhelming, but the view numbers is growing, so that's pretty cool. Jonathan, the DP, particularly watched my short film and said he enjoyed it, and he wrote a little paragraph like saying, "Oh, the color grading is great. There are some bits that could be improved, but the composition is amazing, and like the Ghost in the Shell montage is really great. It threw me off, but in a good way." And he's really nice about it, which is fucking awesome. So that's for sure. Like our relationship is really good. He has to agree to the interview now. And then he sent me a music video he did, and I'm gonna comment on it soon. Also, I said happy birthday to Natalie, and then she sent me a turtle emoji and an S. I think he was gonna say thanks, but he mistyped it or something. But yeah, shout out to Natalie again. Like Natalie is the prototype. Like part of the reason why I fell in love with Leslie is because of Natalie, because she kind of reminds me of Natalie. It's kind of fucked up, but it's true. So, and then speaking of Leslie, Leslie made a couple of Instagram stories, and it's essentially a dog, and it's a video of a fluffy white dog, really cute. And the background of the video, I hear Benny's voice and Ariel's voice. What the fuck are they doing? And then I remember the time Benny told me that she's into bi girls because they do threesomes. And then I'm like, oh, I love a good bi girl too. And at that point, I was referring to Leslie. At that point, he wasn't referring to anyone, but obviously that's one of the reasons why he was into Ariel. And then to think that Benny, Ariel, and Leslie are in the same place, it just gets on my nerves, And then in the next Instagram story, I saw Leslie tag Liana. So, okay, what the fuck now? But anyways, they're having fun. They're having great life with all the important people, the gang, the people who are serious about filmmaking. Not me. I'm not fucking serious. Get out of here. So, yeah. I don't know. It's just, I don't want to fucking care about Leslie anymore. I really don't. Just fuck her. Just fuck her. I don't hate her, but also fuck her, Yeah, that's pretty much it. I think I'm going to go watch the Hong Kong films on Monday. I'm going to go to church on Sunday, and then I'll have nothing to do on Tuesday and Wednesday, and then Thursday night I'll watch The Master with Cliff. On Friday there's the interviews. On Saturday there's Thomas's podcast plus the interviews. So I texted Nick and he said yes, and apparently Theo also said yes, because literally next Saturday Thomas will interview Theo for the podcast. So might as well, since Theo's already free that day, might as well get him to do the interview for us. So all works out. So yeah, hopefully, still waiting for a response from Red and Gustavo. I'm gonna talk to Liam a little bit. Hopefully he can get Ava in, but fuck, we lost Jaden. Fuck that.